Hello, everyone. This is Mahima. Thanks for tuning in. I'm delighted to introduce to you today to an expert in the field of voiceover artistry. Ajinkya Khambete has an impressive background and experience in delivering captivating vocal performances. With his unique journey, we are eager to learn from his insights and hear his story. Welcome, Ajinkya, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Mahima. It's absolutely a pleasure being here discussing something that I do day in and out, that is voiceovers, trying and making a lot of things look pretty and sound pretty also.
We are thrilled to have you here. Can you share a little bit about yourself and how you embarked on your journey as a voiceover artist?
Wow, you're taking me back in time nearly 2 decades. So I started off in voiceovers as I just stumbled upon it. Rather than me stumbling upon it, a friend of mine, I think so way back in 2003, when the BPO sector was a very big hit in Pune. At that time, I joined a BPO without knowing what kind of job is it going to be. But yeah, it was fantastic. And that's when one of my friends, she happened to notice that there is something uniquely different about my voice. And she got me introduced to voiceovers. She took me to a studio. And from there, I embarked on the journey of becoming a voiceover artist, running from a studio to another studio. And in 2013, cut down to 10 years, a decade long later, the corporate film making pretty much picked up. That was the area, and that's when I got my first very big break, where I did around 15 films in a span of 1 month, and I gave my voice to all of them. And I said, wow, this is something that I want to do. And this is what I am going to be doing moving forward. And I was very well settled in the corporate job. I was an operations manager. I used to be in the recruitment field, where I was hiring for Fortune 500 companies on the East Coast in the United States. So I was giving jobs to people. So I said goodbye to my job in 2015. I set up the studio. And, setting up a studio is fantastic. It's great. It's your baby. You've seen it grow up. But as an artist, one thing that you don't realize is the business aspect of it. How does the business exactly work? You get booked for a job, you come, you do the job, you leave. But how do you go ahead and get the clientele was a major challenge for me. That's when I invested an entire year in understanding as to how do you record, how do you edit, how do you get customers. Coming from a corporate background, I already knew client servicing. Client servicing wasn't ever a challenge. The only challenge was how to get that client to come into your door. So I educated myself a lot. And now people come looking for me, which is a turn of events. So that's great. So that's my little journey to voiceover. So I'm like an accidental voiceover artist, but now I'm a professional one. I started as an accidental one. Now I'm a professional for sure.
I came into it accidentally. Now, like, I'm a professional voiceover artist. So very interesting to hear. And it's great that, you recognize this and you're doing this full time now. So it's amazing.
Thank you.
And the world of voiceover artistry must be full of diverse and exciting projects. Can you recount some of your most exciting experiences you've had by lending your voices to different works, and how these experiences inspire and motivate you?
In my job, the one thing that I love about doing voiceovers is I get to sell everything from a safety pin to an aeroplane, anything. Okay, so that's the fantastic. So I had once a couple walk in, and they had just done a pre-wedding shoot, and they wanted a brilliant voiceover, something that's just going to be cinematic for their entire shoot. I was like, is that also what I'm going to be doing? Wow. And it turned out so brilliant. The entire family was so happy and pleased with it, and they were just going on with a lot of compliments for the voiceover. So yeah, I get to sell a lot of things. I love doing this every day in and out. And the inspiration is the writers, especially how the script is written is the basis of the kind of voice that I have to give for it. So yeah, I think so. A lot of it goes to the writers, because if the writers weren't writing, I surely wasn't voicing it.
Interesting. And a a lot of people, don't know about this field, right? Voiceover artistry. So, like for those considering a career in voiceover artistry, then who do you believe would be a fit for this field? And does one require any specific specialization to actually thrive here? And someone can, like me, who doesn't has any prior experience, can I also think about, going into this field?
Well, thinking of it, yes, you can. You can create an avalanche by just a thought, is what they say. So, voiceover artist, is it only about voice? Everyone has a voice. Is it only about reading? Everyone can read. No. Voiceovers, the first basic fundamental that people don't understand, that voiceover is something related to sales. If I'm able to sell that one particular product off the shelf, or if I'm able to sell that one particular service with my voice, and if the customer is buying it, that's a good voiceover artist. So, to get into this industry, first thing, you need a prior experience of 2 to 3 jobs minimum. You need to have seen the world a little in your own specific way, so that, because this entire job has a lot of imagination in it. If I don't imagine the crowd, if I don't imagine where is it going to be played, how is it going to be rolling, what is the videographer, what has he shot, what are the shots that he has taken, if I don't imagine all that, the voice is never going to come out right, and it's just going to sound offbeat. So the first thing that people don't understand is that yes, you can do voiceovers. Yes, it is possible, but you need apt amount of training. But who can train you is where people don't understand. I've seen in the current market scenario that there are a lot of actors who are teaching voiceovers, but the actor can act, he cannot do voiceovers. So you need to find that right source. You need to get some basic amount of training in voiceovers for you to be able to stabilize or put your foot in and start and hit the ground and start running. Without that, without any kind of basic training, I think so nothing really works. So yeah, having a good voice and realizing it, and the thing is, people take the training, they go away, thinking that the studio is going to come back to them. Mm-hmm. That's where the disconnect is. That's where the discord is. You need to keep on coming back to me with what you have practiced, what you feel that you are. If you're sounding different than what you did last time, come to me immediately, try it out on the microphone. It gives me a new set of a sample of yours, and plus you get to do something different. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have to have a training in this, right? So where can they go and find this training? Like, are they?
You need to find. Obviously, the industry stalwarts have a lot of work on their hands, so none of them are going to be able to train. But there are a lot of trainers in the market, especially even I do train a lot of people on how to do voices and how to read scripts and how to narrate them with a lot of conviction. Because if you don't have conviction in your voice, it's just plain reading. Yeah. I'm not taking reading classes. I'm going to teach you how to bring conviction and how to sell that product. And if you sell that product, oh way, you're getting a lot more work from me.
Do you have an online link where people can apply for training, even with you or with anyone else for that matter? Well,
my Google page is completely filled with a lot of these kind of questions, and my Google page of my studio is the only place that people can reach out to me. On my Facebook page is where people can reach out. I will send you the links, obviously, to put in later. But yeah, it is the world of media today. I mean, it is the world of social media. Instagram, Facebook, you can reach out to a lot of people like that. LinkedIn, like how we got connected. So it's about you and understanding as to where to look for. People just think things are just going to happen for them. That's not how voiceovers work.
Exactly, that doesn't work. And when it comes to compensation, what can one expect for when you are starting in this profession? And for those who are good in this, right? What career progression is there and earning potential can be there in the future?
Well, you could say the sky is the limit, but it's up to you as to how determined are you to go ahead and touch the sky. Because people think that, okay, obviously when you're starting off in an industry, you're going to be starting at the basic level. because it is a lot of risk for the studio owner to get you onboarded and put you in front of his client. So his risk factor is a lot more. So people don't understand this. I have seen so many newbies or so many amateurs or someone who is just 1 year old in the industry or who's just read a couple of scripts. Anytime you send them a script, the first thing that they ask is, how much does it pay? When you do that, the first thing that it shows that you really don't understand the craft. You really don't understand that you need to first create value to receive value. So if you don't create value, so this is my thing that I want to say to all those people out there who want to try voiceovers, that first create value with the studio owner, with the operator. Understand as to what is their need, because he's taking a lot of risk with his client by putting you in front. Why should he risk himself when no one else is willing to? So understand this, create value, then ask for value.
That's like amazing. Thank you so much. And we'd love to hear your advice on how to break into this industry, start a successful career here. And what would you consider as to be an essential starting point for someone aspiring to enter this field? And are there any, internship opportunities or entry-level opportunities that, someone can look for? Yeah.
Well, in the market, there are a lot of people who do a lot of trainings and who take exorbitant prices for those trainings. And I've seen those people come back to me after all this, after getting trained, because they didn't understand anything. It was just a commercial gimmick. If you want, what I do when any newbie comes to me, I tell them two things. Either you get trained by me, okay? Instead of finding a trainer, it's better to always have a mentor. Everyone knows how to read. Everyone has a voice. It just has to be cultivated. So you don't need a trainer for that. You need a mentor. So find a mentor in the market first. And to find a good mentor, it's tough. It is really tough finding a good mentor. We didn't have them in my times. I self-trained myself. So I understand this. But the kind of options that I give to a lot of newbies with me is, you do 20 jobs with me. I will create an entire voice portfolio of yours, but you will work free of cost for the first 20 jobs. What are you getting in return? You're getting your entire portfolio made. What are you getting in return? You're getting to work on a lot of different kind of projects, everything from IVRs, documentary, e-learning, corporate films, lot many. So once I create that portfolio of yours, go into the market, I'm telling you, nothing is going to stop you.
Yes.
That's one thing. Or you get trained with me and I mentor you on the job itself. But yeah, starting points are obviously going to be on the lower end. As soon as you progress, as soon as you create trust, not just with the studio, even with the client, and the client wants you back, that means you have created value. If you have created value, you're obviously going to get compensated for it. So the bigger the script, the bigger the payment, obviously.
Great. That's very interesting to hear. Thank you so much. And lastly, drawing from your experiences and success in this field, right? Could you share the qualities or skills that you believe had contributed to your achievements? And do you have any valuable tips or advice for those who are considering a career in this field?
First thing first, I don't need to tell this to the ladies, but for the gents, start looking at yourself in the mirror. Start talking to yourself in the mirror. Start looking into your eyes and talking to yourself. The conviction is entirely here. So if you bring that conviction in your eyes, it's eventually going to trickle into your voice, and that's how it's going to work. Well, this is one thing that's how I train myself. I used to talk to myself a lot. My facial expressions mattered to me a lot because I knew one thing, that it's all the game of the facial expressions. People just stand and just read like this. No. You need to understand the line and you need to perform. It's a performance art. It is not a reading competition, is what people should understand. And so first thing first, in school, you need to be good with comprehension, composition. You need to be able to write, be really good with that craft, whichever language it may be. But comprehension, composition, or even if you have been a comparer in school times, it's a basis. I'm not saying that's one thing for you to become a great voiceover artist, but those are the basis. You know how to face things. That shows. All right. And then you have to, obviously, I grew up watching BBC World. A lot of British news is what I used to watch in my growing up years. That's what gave me the calm composure and the kind of way that I'm talking, the style. That's where I picked it up from. So that's one thing that people need to do. The mirror, watch the news. Don't read just the news. Watch the news. Watch CNN. Watch BBC. Watch these international news channels. And you will pick up some flair and style, for sure. Otherwise, you're going to become Arda Goswami.
Yeah. So, the tips that you've shared, I think they have a lot of potential because like people don't have this kind of calmness. The way you speak is very different than the way I speak. I have a lot of energy when I speak, but I don't have that kind of calmness when I speak, right? So yeah, I mean, I think that is required for someone who's looking into this field, right?
That's true.
Yeah, thank you so much again. And so thank you for sharing your story and invaluable insights for us today. Your talent and expertise in the world of voiceover field are sure to inspire aspiring artists and encouraging them to explore the power of their voices.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mahima. It was a pleasure talking to you. I am really grateful to you for initiating this. And thank you very much once again for you to bringing this on the forefront for a lot of people to learn from. Because if this source isn't there, people are just shooting in the dark and they just don't know what they're doing. So yeah, thank you very much for being the guiding light in this darkness for a lot of people. So great job to you and kudos to you too.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Mahima, I would like to take one selfie with you, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, can you see? I'm not sure. Okay. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Pleasure, Mahima. Nice talking to you.